Yo. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Excuse Me Brother podcast show. I'm your host, Brother Jay. With me, I got my co-host, live and live in color.
We're both in color. What are you talking about?
I know, right?
I said in living color.
I am in
What
color.
does that mean? Like, is that a phrase like that's supposed to mean something?
It's a TV show.
No,
Right.
I know that, but like, where did that phrase come from? Live and live in color.
There was the starting phrase of the show. It was because
That's it. That's what it's from.
live and live in color. You can do what you wanna do.
I
And
think,
live in color. What is it?
I think
it is I, Brother
because-
Tay.
And producer Jay.
I think the reason why they say in living colors because maybe it was the beginning of TV shows being going from black and white to living color. I don't remember.
Well, they
Yeah, I don't
actually
know.
tell you the truth. Their first like 3 seasons, when they did the announcements, they would go from like black and white to color, and also their dancers would also dance in black and white and then end in color. So there were you might be right.
Oh, that's right. They did do that.
Okay.
So it could have been little nuances to that.
Yeah, sounds about
Probably.
right. In fact, let me look it up real fast because I just now he got me wondering.
Don't worry about it.
Presented in living color. Okay. Oh, because of the NBC logo.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, that kind of just
Threw a wind on those sails.
It's okay.
it says
It happens.
it says the title of the series was inspired by the NBC announcement of broadcast being presented in living color during the 1960s prior to mainstream color television. So
See? There you go. So
check this out.
no.
It says it also refers to the fact that most of the show's cast was black, unlike other
okay.
sketch comedy shows such as Saturday Night Live, whose cast were mostly white at the time.
They're still white at this time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just 2 more black people.
Pretty much.
No,
So how
it makes
y'all
it
been?
easier for them to stand out.
You get a point.
Keenan stands
How y'all
out
been?
regardless.
Keenan will always stand out.
Huh?
say
I
that
mean, he's
word
been
for-
standing out since all that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
What did you ask us? I'm sorry. Now I'm thinking about all
I said-
that and can't even tell.
I said, how y'all been?
It's all right.
Could be better.
I'm stressed from this. I'm stressed from being down here, but normal.
I'll tell you where you at.
I'm in South Carolina
What are you doing down there?
doing some unfortunate family things.
I was gonna say, were you not in the group chat when we had this discussion?
Okay, but the people didn't know. They don't
They
know
don't-
this
okay.
stuff.
They don't need to know
So-
that I'm visiting. I'm in the state I was originally from, due to some unfortunate family circumstances. But no, I'm back in the state. I'm back in my first home, where we first lived with my aunt. Going
How
to visit.
long? How long did you live there when you were younger?
Not that long. But it's good to see the places. Apparently a lot of the family have a lot of property. Went to a lot of houses that the family owns.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have somewhere to move to when you leave New York.
You mean when I burn it down? Absolutely.
Hey, if you want to listen, just give me the heads up, all right? I'll put in my 2 weeks. I resign from my position.
No. I'm gonna burn it down so you can keep getting severance checks. Can't give 2 weeks. You gotta keep getting these
Okay,
checks.
That's fair. You know what? I didn't even think about that. I appreciate that.
See, look at that. I'm always looking out for you, even when you don't know it.
Looking out for the brothers. We gotta stick together.
How you been, Brother Jay? You were on excursion.
Yo. Yo.
You see the
so,
way? Do you not see him in the tank top? He's still there.
I'm
Mentally.
still
he's still there
yo, I'm-
mentally.
Yeah, so I did spend the last 3 days in Jamaica. Yeah, man. I was with my sister. We celebrated her birthday. Technically it was, what's today, the 9th? It was 2 days ago. I know that
Tonight,
much.
yeah.
So her birthday was 2 days ago. We celebrated her birthday, and it wasn't long enough. I'll put it to you like that. This trip was not long enough.
It never is.
No, but
I learned a lot. I did a lot involving water. Did some cliff jumping into like some very deep pools, some very deep rivers. And then we went on a river raft where we got the limestone massage. I saw that picture I posted on Facebook.
Yes.
That we covered in limestone clay, and bruh, I still feel smooth as a baby's ass right now. Like my skin is just, you know what I mean? Just I feel rejuvenated, but I want to go back. I can't wait to go back.
It must be nice.
Oh, it was lovely.
must be nice.
I highly
Trying
recommend.
to get like
If
you, my boy.
If you've never been to Jamaica, I highly recommend it. It's
That's
a
why
beautiful
we've
place.
never been to Jamaica.
Well, yeah.
Listen,
I
save
just
your money up and go.
I just
all
got
right?
my passport. What are you talking?
You just got it, bruh.
Like for the first time?
Yeah, I got it last year.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you got 10 years. Put that thing to use, brother.
I'm sure my roommate tells me to keep it on me. She might just take me
Yeah.
to Canada one day randomly since we're new.
Y'all hop a train up to Canada, or should drive. It's about an
train?
8-hour drive.
We done
Yeah, you
listen,
can take a train to
You
Canada.
took a
We-
train to Canada.
we done worse than cars. We definitely gone on a 10-hour trip on a car just to go get ciders in upstate New York.
Wait, what?
Yo,
My roommate is like we've woken up like early in the morning to go to like upstate to a certain place to get certain ciders that make the ciders that they like.
Sliders.
No, cider, like apple cider.
apple
Oh,
cider.
cider. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
like, you drove 10 hours
For
to
some
get
hamburgers.
sliders?
We drove
Hamburgers.
3 hours to get donuts. So
Listen, I could believe it. People, listen, my sisters used to drive down to Philadelphia on a whim just to get cheesesteaks from a specific spot.
it's got to be
So-
that spot.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
crazy.
If you go, if you ever want some some really good donuts somewhere, like, I don't know the name of the place, but in Mystic, Connecticut, donuts is delicious. They got a waffle donut that's a real waffle.
No, that sounds delicious.
They give you like a whole donut. It's chocolate. Then they give you a waffle with some syrup and like a little syringe that you put on it. It's great.
Yeah.
No coffee.
See, like that's reasonable. Connecticut, that's reasonable. But Philadelphia for a cheesesteak?
Philly's not that far, bro.
It's about a 3-hour
It's
drive.
like 3 hours.
It's like it's a 3-hour drive.
No, I'm not driving 3 hours for food.
You must not like it that much. You don't like
I mean,
food that
and
much.
that's coming from somebody who likes driving.
Must be nice to have a car.
It must be nice.
It must be nice.
Trying to get like both of you, my boy.
It's not. It's not because
No,
you have
having a car is a headache.
I mean, yes, that too.
One day I'll get one.
You want to know something funny? While I was in Jamaica,
No.
since it was just me and my sister, right?
Wait, just two of you went?
It's just the two of us. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
It was the first time. It was the first time she and I traveled alone together. Like,
Ironically.
usually when we travel, we travel in groups or bunches, whatever. But this time it was just me and her. What were you gonna say, Tay?
Oh no! Ironically, I'm trying to find my sister, who lives in the state. She's not answering me though.
She don't want to talk to you.
Understandable.
Damn, he here. I gotta freaking ignore his calls.
But yeah, it was just me and her, and the entire time, everyone thought she and I were a couple.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I mean, I can
But
see why people would think that.
if you look at me and my sister, we look alike. You know what I'm saying? We look just alike.
I mean that
We
had,
have the same.
you understand that hasn't stopped people from dating before.
What?
So
What do you think we're in freaking Alabama?
That's gross.
no, not like
What?
I'm not saying the sister
Oh,
part.
looking like each other.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I understand that, but
Yeah, I'm
really, if you and I, well, you both have met my sister, right? My
I
youngest sister.
haven't.
Yes, you have. I'm sure you have. She's come to Target all the time while we were there.
I mean, maybe I've seen her. I've never met her.
Okay, well, if you look at me and her, especially when we're standing right next to each other, like the resemblance is uncanny. You know what I'm saying? So people kept asking, like, oh, people were like, oh, where's your wife? Where's your wife? I'm like, that is my sister. That's not my wife. And they're like,
It's like you don't see anything on these fingers.
so, it was just it was funny, and we both counted, or we made a bet. We're like, how many times we're gonna get asked if we're a couple? You know what I mean? So, but I was like, nah, bro, we single out here. Like, nah, ain't no, we're related and we're both single, so it don't even matter. So, speaking of single, right?
I knew where this was going.
Yeah, you know it. I had to make a segue. Hashtag segues, right? What we getting into tonight, fellas?
Huh?
Well, I feel like you guys are more apt to talk about this.
No, not necessarily.
I can give my perspective, but like
we had a whole argument about this, but it is about dating. That's the next topic. But we had a whole argument about that because I was saying something. You were like, why don't you just date Jared? Why don't you just date producer Jay? And I was like, he's in a whole relationship. That's very toxic. It's very toxic of you, Jay.
What? And he's not just in a relationship.
He's like, he's engaged. I was like, and?
He's engaged. You put some respect on it.
No. Just because you're engaged.
That man is promised to marry someone.
All right, and it's still
it's
still a relationship.
Yeah,
but it's an elevated relationship.
No, you wouldn't say that though.
It's just the title.
That sounds weird.
The title increases. That's it.
Right.
It's like, hey,
he's at Super Saiyan 2 level right now. You know what I'm saying?
Like, hey, everybody, I'm in an elevated relationship.
No, we'll put it this way. Technically, he's just Kyle Kid. That's it.
yeah, I haven't reached it fully yet. I'm almost there.
He's on his way. He's well on his way. So you can still have a perspective because since you're in a relationship, you can give the perspective of being in a relationship. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Certain things that are expected of you, certain things that you will tolerate, certain things that you're not going to tolerate.
I think you can.
It still counts.
I think you could get that perspective regardless of your relationship or not.
I mean, yeah, I could still give it from like prior when I was still in that phase.
I could give it to you too as well. Like, I could have gave it to you 5 years ago when I was still in a relationship. Like, what's your point?
My point was that. Well, what's my point?
Well, you don't even know.
You lost. Now, see, I've already won. Now I'm just going to ignore you for the rest of the show. You made a mistake.
Oh, wait, what was your point?
My point? I don't have points.
The whole point of that, the levels of relationship don't matter. It's still a relationship.
Yeah, it's on basics. The relationship's always the foundation. Only thing that changes when you get stuff are title names. That's it.
Yeah.
You're always going to be a relationship.
Okay. But I'm saying that the relationship has reached a different level with him. You know what I'm saying? You saying he's in a relationship. I'm like, well, yes, but it's more than just a relationship. Like, he's engaged.
I mean, the same things that in a relationship and an engagement. If he cheated with me on his fiance, that relationship still ends regardless.
That doesn't make it any less of a relationship.
It doesn't.
Of an engagement, I mean. You know what I mean?
An engagement is a relationship. That's all I'm saying.
But it comes with a higher level of commitment because
no, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. He's promised to marry this woman. That's
hold on. What a higher level of commitment is he committing to? Like, it's still the commitment he made to a relationship when he started. It's still the same commitment.
I mean, all right. So no, I kind of agree with Jay on this one. Like,
thank you.
What's the higher level of commitment?
If you get engaged, like, you're committing to
taxes,
like being with that person. I mean, yes, but committing to that person for like the rest of your life. Whereas with a regular relationship, like, yeah, you would like for that to happen, but it's an easier severance if it came to that. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think it's a harder severance.
Really?
I think it's harder once you're married. Yes. The only reason that is because, like,
when you're married.
Well, yeah.
I think the difference, like, it might be harder to get some stuff out of it, but that's like physical stuff. Like, regardless of what your relationship got to the point where you're like, okay, because when you go into a relationship, your goal is to stay with that person forever. At least that's mine. I don't know. There's other
Well,
people.
yes, ideally, yes,
There
but
are other.
not a lot of people don't
No.
agree with
I'm
that.
I'm just saying between me, us three standards. I don't know. Actually, between me and you, Jay, we're not gonna listen to Brother Jay. Between me and you, producer Jay. Brother Jay might be on some different shit. But between me and you, when we get to a relationship, the goal is to stay together forever. That's the main part.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen,
So-
I'm on board with that. What you mean? How you gonna try to play me like this?
I don't know. You be on some shit. Like back to my statement.
What? Excuse me, brother. What are you talking about?
You're
where's this
excused. Now
coming
go
from?
into the corner. Now let me finish.
Fuck out of here! No.
Like I said, the goal, like when you're in engagement, like you just giving each other rings. That's a promise ring. Engagement, it's like you're giving a promise ring, then your titles are increased. But if you are to break up an engagement, it'd be the same. It'd be the same way if you were to break up a relationship. There's no like, oh, I gotta go through this process and stuff and stuff like this. You guys are
I
breaking
mean,
up. If you already got
it's more of like formalities that you gotta like
people
get through.
people ask more questions. That's about
Well,
it.
yes.
Those are the only difference. As long as like you got to try to get the ring back that you proposed with, whoever proposed first, someone's gonna have to get the ring back.
I guess
regardless.
it's a difference of like legality.
I don't even.
Well, okay,
technically,
okay,
yeah.
well, not really, because if you really think about it, there's only single, married, widowed,
Yeah.
divorced, right? There's only 4 relationship statuses at least in this country.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm like from a legal perspective.
Yeah, that's
Right,
I'm
so-
saying from the legal perspective. Look, nothing really changes once you get engaged. Once you get married, it just the only difference between the only difference between girlfriend and boyfriend and fiancés is that people just make it seem more serious. Because like,
Well, yeah, because
I mean, it is, but
you made the promise to marry this individual. That's the point of being engaged. That's why I say it's a kind of a heightened level. Like he's already asked this woman to marry him. She said yes,
it's
and
like
now they're in
it's the first step to that everlasting commitment.
that right,
political.
right.
Getting married for political reasons. Let's go.
I can't this nigga. I can't with this nigga. I swear to God, I can't.
You should know.
Well,
that I'm a history buff, so you know I'm gonna abuse the marriage thing as much as I can.
I understand because I studied the history of marriage to certain, wherever it comes from, what it means to different societies. But, socially, at least socially, being engaged to me, is different than being just in a relationship with someone.
I want you to know.
That's all I'm saying.
I want you to know the whole point of my argument was that regardless of what you are in a relationship, from engagement to marriage, the relationship is still the whole basis of the whole formation. It's still the bottom of the pyramid. No matter how you put it. That was my whole statement. I don't know why you wanted to fight it.
My original point was just that he's not just in a relationship. He's promised to marry someone. Like it's different saying this is my fiance as opposed to this is just my girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people will cheer more.
Yeah, so what's wrong with that? Niggas need cheerleaders out here. What's wrong with that?
That's funny as I describe it. You can see producer Jay like, damn, how dare he be right about this?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was like. Damn, I can't even argue. Like,
Listen,
it do be facts.
also, okay, so producer Jay, let me ask you a question, right? Since you've been engaged,
Your fiance is lovely.
no, she's awesome. She's better than him.
Thank you. Thank you.
Better than me or better than him?
Both. So yeah, she's better than you, Tay. Since you've been engaged, does it feel any different than when y'all were just in a relationship?
Yes and no. So it feels different in that like now we're starting, like I said, it's the first step to that long lasting commitment to each other. So now we're starting to talk about more things openly, whereas before we kind of like, oh, maybe like if it were ever to come up, like hope marriage or having kids and stuff like that. Now, and like even just planning a wedding. Before we kind of just be like, oh, if we were to get married, but now we're just like, we're getting married, so let's start talking about this shit. But at the same time, like nothing really has changed between our dynamic. Like we have we still do the same things together. We still like spend as much time with each other. I mean, the only thing that changes is just it's out of our control, but we don't really go out as much as we used to, like
And
on dates. But that's more circumstantial. If we could, we would. But yeah. So it's kind of like both. Like it changed, but not really.
I'm sorry. There's a reason why I laughed.
No, you good.
It had nothing to do with you and your whole thing. It was like in my brain, it's like now that we're engaged, now we're having this conversation. So my brain went, it's like a video game. Before you can have these conversations, now you unlock the level. Now you can't.
I did. I did. I unlocked the new conversation tree.
It's really funny. That's why I started to
and
laugh.
that's my point where it said where I was talking about. Wait, it's not just a regular relationship. He's engaged now. He has different levels of responsibility. He has to plan an entire wedding now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gross.
I'm saying
Gross.
what? Oh, but think about it like this, producer. When y'all were initially dating and y'all decided to get into a relationship, marriage was on the table, right? Like y'all had that
No,
open dialogue
we were upfront about that. Yeah.
that you both wanted to get married and this,
Mhm.
that, and the third. So, Tay, let me ask you a question.
What
Right?
up?
You date to get married, right? At least now in your late 20s, I should say.
I want to say that was my goal when I was in my late teens as well. I ain't really cared. I never really wanted to go through I never wanted to go through a whole phase or anything like people call that. That made no.
I mean,
that made no
when I,
sense
when
to
I
me.
was when I was younger, I also like had that goal.
Yeah, I never the whole like, oh, you should just sleep around and stuff. I was like, that doesn't really. I never saw any appeal to that.
Neither did I. But I think this generation is so accustomed to
It's a thing.
like
It
it's a
Quidditch
thing,
culture.
right? This hookup culture, this whole phase hit it and quit it culture, and it's on both sides now too.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I'm
on
saying?
both
It's
Yeah.
both
sides.
men and women that do it and that embrace it, and I think that's part of the reason why this generation sucks at establishing long-standing healthy relationships. Would y'all agree?
Yes. I mean that also it has a lot to do with the lack of trust that people have for each other these days.
It's
That because there's like an abundance of like
Options.
options, but
no,
just temptation. Um,
no, it's
just like what I'm trying to think of the word. Like it's like because they talk about it so much, it makes it seem like normalizing of
And
like cheating and stuff like that, especially in like media and music and stuff like that. So it's like it seems so easy to just get in a relationship and then just cheat and then just be done with it. Like
even that, like to the point where it's more of a normalizing thing where people are like, oh, like when you see it on like Instagram, TikTok, everything, music, they're like, oh, like he won't know, like he won't ever
exactly.
know. They won't, and if they find out, it's all right, just admit it. They won't. They don't need to take you back. You got like you got a whole roster. Some friends say like you got a whole starting lineup. You don't need them, or you don't need
Yeah.
her.
It's been like subliminally like pushed into our brains. Well, maybe not ours, but like a lot
That
of
generation.
the youth. Yeah.
A lot of people think
It's
when they're
been
like, they got like people got in their phone. They're like, oh, this is the girl I talk to about my emotions. This is the girl I talk to that cooks me food. This is the girl that got the best cat.
yeah.
This
There's
cat-
a reason why like the whole like side chick, side dude, like that's a thing. It wasn't I feel like that wasn't a thing when I was younger. It was mostly like within the last decade that started happening.
There wasn't a thing, but there were always songs about it.
I mean, listen, infidelity is as old as time itself.
True.
You know what I mean? There's always been men and women who have, extramarital affairs and whatnot. And I think, if my statistics are correct, I don't have it right in front of me. Infidelity is, if not number one, it's like top 3 reasons for divorce in America. Between finances and irreconcilable differences. You know what I mean?
That's just cheating in another word.
That's what I think. It's just like, yo,
No, it could
I
be
know,
like people just like not getting along
I
and
know,
just being on two different pages.
I'm messing with it. It definitely could be a lot of other reasons, but it's funnier with it. Like, it's funny when people be like, "Oh, we just had some differences that we couldn't work out," and then you talk to the person 3 months later. It's like, "Oh no, like he had like 3 side girls," and they're like, "No, she had another side dude on the side." That's all it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And she thought it was okay. Or when they're like, "Oh, um, let's make it an open marriage." A lot of people get divorced over that as well.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about open marriages?
It should be
It
should be communicated as soon as. Don't just throw it on people. You should do it.
yeah.
If you're gonna have it open anything, it should be communicated from the start. Don't
Right.
date someone and then 4 months later be like, I want to have an open relationship. That's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
So
No,
we're
it's
gonna feel the type of way.
yeah. It can work for certain people, but you have to make sure that the person you're with is one of those people. Because you can't just, like Tay said, you can't just throw it on somebody.
Yeah.
I feel like and communicating anything beforehand is paramount. Like
True.
if you're not just an open marriage, but if you're like a polygamist or polygamist in general, you got to say that beforehand. Like you got to give people the option to
Yeah.
be involved. You know what I mean?
Like I know this. Like we had a couple of dates, so just before we fully commit to this, I want you to know that I do believe in polygamy. Are you okay with this? Like
Because you'd be surprised at how many people are
okay with
it.
Yeah, as long as it's brought up to them before they get into a different idea. Like don't.
I remember I had a conversation with one of my cousins about that, and he was straight up. He was like, I want like 3 wives, and he's like, I already got people lined up, and I'm like, how do you just find these people that are okay with this? He's like, they exist, they're there. You just gotta ask around.
3 wives.
And I was like, I guess.
Just
3 wives.
think about it. It does, but it's only handled for like only a certain caliber of men can handle multiple
Why didn't put it?
women at the same
Why
time.
didn't put it on men? Anyone
Multiple.
that has multiple. If you could have 3 partners
Multiple
in general,
partners. Yeah.
it sounds like a headache
but-
to me and wife.
Yeah, but you know, like throughout history, it's been mostly
Rich.
men who have had multiple wives and whatnot. It's mostly been,
No.
Yeah.
especially, there's only been a certain kind of men,
Rich.
right? It's
Nobles.
rich, exactly, kings, no, like I said, noble men, those kinds of people of a certain stature, a certain caliber, not Tyrone down the street who got 6 baby mamas and got 25 kids. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we talking about. here.
Technically, if we're gonna be technical, that is a polygamous relationship.
It is. But you see, like, how
He's
the
just
difference
stressed.
between them.
He's just
Like,
super stressed.
And not only that, he's being irresponsible.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
King David back in the day, or King Solomon, whoever, you know what I mean? They had all these wives and concubines and children, but guess what? They took care of them. They were ruling officers. They were, you know, people of noble renown. So they had the wherewithal to handle all these relationships, and everybody fell in line with it too. They knew what was going on. But these days, you got to keep secrets and lie to each other to handle all these relationships, and you spread yourself thin. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things to me, that's the biggest plague of our generation, because it's like people not honest with each other and people keep lying to each other. You know what I mean?
It's the government's.
About it's always the government's fault. The government's pushing this on us. But you know, it's just weird to me. And it makes me not want to date, honestly. Because it's like, yo, you either gotta date, you gotta share somebody, or you gotta date a woman with kids,
I mean,
or she's just not interested at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like options are limited on every side.
I'd say in a different thing where right now it's very popular on TikTok and Instagram, where women like, if you date me, you gotta pay all my bills. My money is my money, and your money is my
We
money.
had this whole discussion on the chat.
My money is my money, and your money is my money.
So after watching the video again, and then, well, I watched the video, thought it was, you know, a bunch of BS off rip. Then I looked at producer Jay's response to it. It's like, yo, she's probably trolling. And then I looked through the comments again. I was like, okay, yeah, she's definitely trolling. But the sad thing is, there are a bunch of women who think like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
She was trolling. The comments were not trolling.
no.
No, I'm talking about like her responses to the comments.
Yeah, her responses were kind of like in jest. Like she didn't even acknowledge
No, you need to understand.
the comments.
You understand? I'm saying she made the video and her responses, like she was obviously trolling, but the other people who viewed it and wrote their comments, they were not trolling. That they really believed.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah,
that's
no,
what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. No, that's definitely facts. But still, there are a bunch of women who believe that, who think a man's supposed to just pay for everything and I'm supposed to just sit here and look pretty all the time. And it's just like, nah, no. Y'all done had this whole feminist movement so that way y'all can be in equal standing with us and make the same kind of money as us and this, that, and the third, be in the same space as we are. And now you just want to sit on all of that? No, nah. Get your ass to work, pay this light bill. No. You know what I mean?
But that's also a thing. Like what is it called? It's like it's not it's not baby. No,
What?
a sugar baby. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah,
being a sugar. I mean, people look for
people
that.
like women get with men specifically so they can pay for their shit. Like that's it.
That's a sugar relationship. But those are people looking for that. Like people were looking. People would be like, "Oh, I'm."
Oh yeah, it's also mutual. It's not like the guy is looking for it,
or the girl,
like,
or the girl's looking for it. You also, again, that's back to communication though. Some people,
right?
But that the people who in those comments aren't communicating that. They're like, "Oh, you're going like I'm only like this. My money is my money. Your money is my money. So pay all these bills for me." Hey, like I thought we was in this together 100%. Like we're gonna do everything together. And she was like, "No." It's like we were, but after we passed the 2-month period, you pay my Con Ed and your Con Ed. We're not living together, but like pay both of those.
Like that's what you call on her side. Like you call that. What do you call that? Because on the male side, you call that a simp. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's simp regardless. Like that's what it is for either situation. Because like there's also girls that do that as well, or women that they pay for their man. Their man is like leeching off of them, but like that's just the dynamic.
He's a leech.
Oh yeah, we don't call those men at all. We call them suckers. And
no, we call them leeches.
No, I wouldn't call them suckers. I just feel like they
signed up. They wanted to do it.
I mean, it like I said before, like it has to be a mutual thing. If it's like just one-sided where one of them is just paying for everything and then the other one just expects a freaking free ride for everywhere, then obviously that's a problem.
Saved under her phone as free food.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. That actually reminds me of the whole.
I feel bad for those. I've seen those videos.
That McDonald's thing. I know it doesn't really have anything to do with the topic, but it just made me think that the McDonald's, the dad buying McDonald's for the one son.
Yeah, and she's like, "What about my other kids?" And he goes like, "I only got one kid.
Right,
not my kids."
You know what?
And she's like, "He can't have it if the other ones can't have it." I'm like, that sounds like the other people. That don't sound like his problem. Like he got one child. He's not responsible for the other ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're not even. Okay, they're not even They weren't even in a relationship. That's the funnier part.
So we can actually spin that back into the topic because there's an element there. Obviously, this man has kids, a kid with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has kids by other men.
Mm-hmm.
Dating single mothers as men with no children, right, can be a very dicey situation.
It can.
I know because I just did it.
Well,
yeah, it can be very dicey, but you know, it's up to the man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, okay, so it's interesting that you say that because I was on the opposite end. I was a
Uh-huh.
single father.
Uh-huh.
So that was difficult in itself, trying to date and finding people who were compatible with that. Well, maybe not even compatible, but just like understanding of my situation.
I wonder.
Uh-huh.
It takes a lot of willpower to accept somebody else's children. And I know because my cousin, not the same cousin that I was talking about earlier, but my cousin went through that where his fiance now had a kid. They have a kid now together, but before it was just one child.
Uh-huh.
So that, and he was explaining to me about how tough it is because once you start forming a bond, it becomes harder to distinguish what the boundaries are.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, on the one hand, you're not their father, like biologically.
Or their
But
parent.
on the other hand, depending on how long you stay with them and are in their lives, you are essentially their father
You were
or
essentially,
father figure.
yeah, you're still
But like,
your authority figure to them.
exactly.
Essentially.
So do you step in and be that for them where their father is not, or do you just sit back, be like, that's the father's job? And it was a tough like road or like path to navigate because I mean he asked me a bunch of questions all the time about that, so it's not easy.
I
Okay, so okay, I'm sorry, Tay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
not that I always wondered because like I've read things about people who complain. They're like, oh, like I have this kid that's like, I'm dating this person and my stepkid's out of control and I can't tell them what to do because the person I'm dating said that told me I can't tell them what to do. And now we've been
Yeah,
dating for 7 years and now the person doesn't respect me at all. The kid doesn't respect me.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah.
and it's from both sides. And I always like at a certain point I think I don't know. It's really hard. That's a really complicated place to be in.
I think I think personally, like it's up to you and the other parent, or you and the parent. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like at the end of the day, you have to realize you're not their parent. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So if all three adults, meaning the biological parents and the step parent, is mature enough to sit down together and have a conversation about, you know, the step parent's role in everything, then the child just, not to say that the child just gonna have to fall in line, the child's gonna have to acquiesce to the situation, so to speak. Because if the three parents involved sit down and say, look, you'll handle the A, B, C, and D, we will handle A, E, F, G, H, I, whatever. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I probably skipped the letter, but you get the point. You know what I'm saying? And this is it. I don't step over this boundary. Y'all don't step over this boundary. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That conversation has to be had in the beginning stages, because I've also seen situations where the parent won't even introduce their children to the new the new lover until way later. I'm talking like months down the line, right?
Oh,
Now, in my situation that I had, I met the kids immediately. You know what I'm saying? So, but we never got along far enough for us to get to that point where, like, I've obviously I interacted with her children, but we never got to the point where I had to discipline them. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like in that situation, I never would, because one, she clearly has way more experience as being a parent than I do. And two, how would how would the children's fathers react? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I'm
I
like,
mean,
yo,
it also goes in not just discipline, but just like certain father-child
roles.
roles.
yes,
Yes,
yes, agreed,
yeah,
yes.
I think, but no, yeah, you're right. It's a starting point. I think I'm of the idea that you should probably set a time limit on that because like it's fine if you're gonna date a single parent. This is what my thought is: if you're gonna date a single mother, if you date them for like 3 months, I feel like you don't have to really be introduced to the kids yet, or like have to have a role or an adult figure in their life yet. If you make it past 6 months, then I think it's time that you guys have that talk. Like, hey, we've been in a relationship now for 6 months, going on to a year, I think it's time that at least I know my boundaries, or at least we get to talk about the boundaries that are set. Because if I like, there are going to be times where you're going to leave me alone with this kid now because you trust me. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, what are the things I'm allowed to do? Like if they do something, am I allowed to? Can I ground them? Can I put them on punishment? Can I punish them? And can I serve any discipline? If I'm going out, if you're out and we're together, am I overstepping my boundaries to take them out for food, to take them to a restaurant, or take them anywhere?
Yeah.
Like, am I allowed to? Like, am I allowed to pick them up from school? Am I allowed to?
Am I allowed to celebrate their birthday? Like, if you're not, am I allowed to take them to Dave and Buster's for an arcade thing? Anything that would make me look like a father figure to this child. What are my boundaries? I need to know where I step, and I feel like that's a certain time, because anyone, you can always date. You can always date a single parent, and after like 4 months, it may not work out, and it happens. That's just the way it is. You're like, okay, like you can date, and you be like, you know what? I dated this person for a while. I just don't see it going anywhere. And you're honest with it. You're like, all right, look, I like you're a good person. I just don't think we should date each other because we're just not compatible. That is what it is. And then I have to. But if you think like I can see myself with this person for a long period of time, I think we have to sit down and have this conversation now. I don't mind.
I'm with you 1,000%.
I don't mind being a step parent, but I need to know what I can do.
Right. I need to know what steps I can take.
Also, I need to probably know what this other parent looks like, so I know when they show up. Like, if I'm with the kid, like if they're still in the picture, I need to know what they look like. Because if I'm with the kid and this other person shows up randomly, like it's like, hey, I'm here to pick up my kid, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the parent. And then you just put yourself in a terrible situation, giving a kid to someone you don't know.
Yeah, I mean that can also be a tricky situation depending on the relationship between the parent and the from our perspective, like the other father or whatever.
Yeah, but like I said, that's another thing. Even like even for women at that point, if you're dating a guy and he has a kid, and another woman comes like, that's my son, and the kid like responds, the kid just might respond because that might be his aunt or something like that. You don't really know. And then it's a whole situation, like, you're like, oh, the mother, like, as a guy, you'd be like, oh, the father came and picked it up. And like, the father didn't tell me they were coming to pick it up. Now you're like, oh, fuck. And if you're a woman on that side, you're like, oh, the kid's mother came to pick them up. And you're like, the mother's out of state. What are you talking about? And it's a whole nother thing.
No, that's facts, because I've never really seen that type of situation, but
it can happen.
Definitely possible. It can happen
easily.
It can.
Can I pick?
I don't know.
School's my favorite thing right now.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that that you shouldn't date single parents.
No, everyone deserves love.
Just know what you're getting yourself into. Like,
be prepared for a conversation.
Yeah, I remember when I was dating the last girl, and one of the first questions I asked her on our first day, I was like, hey, what's your relationship with, this person's dad? What's your relationship with them like? And the dynamics were great between them, but it was in the end, it just didn't mesh well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So things like that happen.
Divorce can look. I actually looked up the reasons for divorce. So you want to know? You were right. Infidelity was number 3.
It was number 3. Okay.
Yeah. So it was number 2 and 1.
2 is arguing too much, and 1 is lack of commitment.
Lack of commitment,
which kind of gets me because you committed to this marriage. How much commitment is less?
Well,
also if you want to know number 4 was married too young.
Well, yeah.
What is too young?
Producer J,
like 18.
It's like, Producer J, that's out of my boundary. I rest my case on this one, sir. I bid you adieu.
No, that is a thing. People can get married too young, and then because that's the thing. A lot of
what's too anything?
Not to like generalize, but a lot of women growing up when they're little girls tend to have this idea fed to them that you got to find a man to marry.
Yeah,
and like that's their goal.
Actually, you want to know something else I thought about? Also, you gotta remember, a lot of people like the ideas like, "Oh, I married my high school sweetheart." That shit don't normally work out.
Yo,
Well,
yeah, I thought I was gonna marry mine, so
like I said, a lot of
I
people,
mean,
and I think that's also a media thing. Now, a lot of media things are like, "Oh, they've been married, they met in high school, they're high school sweethearts," and then some of them are like, "Oh, they're middle school sweethearts," and I'm like, that doesn't sound okay. But
well, I know one couple.
no, but I'm just saying, like, married too young is like committed. You've been committed to this person for so long, and then at a certain point, you actually, as you've gotten older, you realize that you guys don't like the same things, and you
Oh
don't.
yeah, just grow differently.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
look,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think married too young can be anything between schools. You want the honest truth, including
I can dig
college,
it.
including college.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're still in school and you're married, I think that's definitely too young. I honestly don't think anyone should be married before the age of 30. That's just my personal opinion because it's like,
no, I
you know,
mean, it okay, I would say
Yeah,
25
25 is too young.
is
I don't know, dude.
You still
I
grow.
feel like
if you're ready, like, well, it depends on the relationship, obviously, but if you already are with somebody for like years and years and years, and you have a stable job, you're most likely living together already, I don't see why age should even play a factor.
Yeah, I can see.
well, I feel like,
Like, if you're 25, you got your shit together, you're saving money, you're living together, you got a car, like, what is the difference?
but that's just
You gotta
like
wait 5 years?
no, because it's like when I say 30, I mean the reason why I say that is because you're in a different mindset at 25 as opposed to being 30. You know what I'm saying? You might have certain things already established for yourself when you're 25. Like think about it. Both of you are in your late 20s, right? I mean, we're all in our late 20s, duh. But what I mean
I'm
is like,
45. What are you talking about?
nigga, please.
You just said in the beginning they thought you were younger than 25.
Like, don't give me that. I know black don't crack, but come on, son. Um, I'm saying like, okay, you both are in your 20s, and you both have certain things going for yourselves, but do you honestly feel that you're at that point in your lives where, you know what? I mean, producer Jay, you're there, but the certain thing is like, are you ready to be married?
Are
You know what I'm
you
saying?
ready?
At 25 at 25 to 30, you're still figuring certain things out for yourself. You're not going to be the same person at 30 that you were at 25. And if you are, you probably wasted 5 years of your life.
God.
But
You know what I mean?
so my whole point is, if you are already with somebody for multiple years, let's say you guys met each other at 22, you were together for 3 years, and you moved in together, you have stable jobs, you have cars, whatever, like everything is going good. What is the difference between waiting until 30 than just getting married at 25?
I'm saying that
Like, if everything's okay, there's no problems, like everything's like you guys are on the same page. Like, I'm talking about like ideal situation. Like,
well, okay, if it's ideal, then sure, go ahead, go for it.
that's what I'm saying.
But how many situations turn out ideal like that?
I mean, there's no ideal situations after 30.
That's even then. But at 30, I feel like at 30 you have a better understanding of yourself, of what you want out of life, and because think about it, maybe you get married at 25, and then 5 years later you're like, damn, I think I'm married too young because I think differently now. I move differently. At 30, first of all, you're in a different age group, clearly, right? 30-year-old a 30-year-old is going to look at a 25-year-old differently. Especially a 30-year-old might look at themselves at 25 and go, damn, I was really immature. I really shouldn't have been moving that kind of way. Especially with the dating scene. You know what I'm saying? When you're 30, I just feel like at 30, the older you are, you should have a better understanding of yourself and what you want out of life. And maybe at 30, you decide, you know what? I don't want to get married at all. Maybe I'll just stay the rest of my life single. Or who knows, maybe at 35, you'll say, you know what? I think it's time for me to settle down. I done did my youthful nonsense. Time to settle down and move on and build a family. You know what I mean? As opposed to being at 25, you're still in the prime of your life. Do you really want to settle down and say,
But
I'm a,
that's the thing. I feel like that depends on the person. It's not an age thing. It's a person thing. Like if you know what you want at 25, then why does it matter? Just wait or just do it.
but how many 25-year-olds really know that is what I'm saying. That's
I
why I'm
mean,
saying give it more time.
that's not for me to judge. Like I'm not going to judge somebody because they're 25 and got married.
Okay, maybe I say it like this. How many
If I know
25-year-olds?
if I know that person is reckless and they like have a history of not knowing what they want to do in life, then yeah, I'm going to be like, yeah, maybe you should wait. But if they know, then why not?
But okay, I'll say it like this. Maybe they know, but are they ready for that step? You know what I'm saying?
Depends on the person.
Now, how many 25-year-olds you know want to get married, but have everything in order to even get married? They got the stable job, got the car, got their own crib, in a healthy, long-standing relationship.
I mean,
Maybe got a couple kids with them. You know what I'm saying?
Personally, I don't know, but it's not like I'm in other people's business.
Well, you don't have to be in their business, but just generally speaking, think of the average 25-year-old today. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're Black or Latino. Do you think that they're ready for marriage? We just
I
spent the
think you
last
just
40 minutes talking about
Tay's just jamming out right now.
he's enjoying the conversation, but it's like,
no, you want to know?
and I'm waiting for him to jump in, but
Y'all,
how many, just think about
yeah,
it. How many 25-year-olds you know
Yeah,
today?
Tay, you give your opinion.
like, no, you guys are going back and forth. At a certain point, I started thinking about Generation X.
Just here.
You didn't hear me go, "Are you ready?"
You did,
I
yes.
definitely did.
Oh, let me rewind it back. Sorry, I had it, but Generation X is so distracting. I don't think honestly the marriage too young thing. I feel like it's some. I told you if you get married within your school, I think you're too young to begin with. So I think that's where my standpoint stands from. If you get married while you're in school or like haven't finished your degree that you want, or if you get married before you found the career you actually want, it might be too. You might have married too young to you in your standards. I don't think age kind of stings to that. I think marriage too young is just a mindset. So like this, like us, like if I when we were working at Target, if I got married at that time, and then like now we're back, and now we're at I went through like 2 different jobs, and we went through this, and look, Jay went through another job, we got on another thing. If he got married at that point, and then he like Target, whatever your job is, also affects your mindset. So I also think that it really depends on where you are mentally and where you are career wise, depending on how you married too young. That's where I think married too young comes from. I don't think age kind of comes into it because any age can change differently. Because like I wouldn't say you married too young if you're LeBron James. LeBron James got married at like 23 to his wife now because he made it to the NBA. He was already set. Same thing for a lot of NFL athletes as well. They're married now. One of my favorite players on the New York Jets got married now. He's 24. He's 300 pounds and he's married. But he knows he's making about 25 million now, and he had a great year, and he's up for another contract extension that will possibly guarantee him 90 million going forward. He's set. That's why I think married too young is a career thing.
Married too young is a career thing?
Yeah, I think
I'm saying it's just circumstantial. Like every person is different. Like I don't think there should be a general cap on when you should get married. I think it's just whenever you feel ready.
It's a career and a mentality thing. Because literally, like, oh, when I married this person, like me and her got married when I was still bagging groceries and stuff, and she was working as a bartender. And then we stayed married for 3 years. I changed my career to be social worker, and then she went into like, what's another one? She went to be. Sorry, I'm still in your career. She became an NTA She became a track inspector. Like she works overnight. I work during the day. We don't see each other, we got divorced because we never saw each other and we married too young. We were youth. We thought it was going to work out and it just did. It's always going to be.
Well,
It's always going to be circumstantial. Doesn't matter. I don't think.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, as you get older, your mindset's supposed to change.
Yeah, you're both.
You know what I mean?
You're both.
Not
right.
necessarily. Not necessarily.
Oh, there we
You
go.
should change as you get older. Your mind is you're
Well,
thinking
yeah,
is
okay.
different.
Yeah, in that sense, yes. Obviously, you learn more as you get older, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you should change your mind just because you're getting older. You should adapt.
Why not? But that's what I'm saying.
If I like grape soda when I'm 25, when I turn 30, I'm gonna be like, nah, I like orange soda now because I'm 30 now.
That's an oversimplification of what I'm saying.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. You don't just change your mind because you're older. You change it as you get wiser, but that doesn't mean
That's what I'm saying. You change as you get older, bro. You're supposed to do that.
I wouldn't say change. I would say adapt.
What is adaptation?
Adapt means you take what you already know and you modify yourself to adapt with it.
Modify. What is that? Just say it.
All right,
It's change, bro. You're supposed to change as you grow. I'm not saying like you completely shift your personality. I'm saying, okay, as you get older, certain experiences will cause you to modify your behavior, your thinking. You're supposed to do that. You're not supposed to think the same way at 30 that you did at 25.
Right, but it's not like you just change, you switch up automatically. Like you take what you learned and you apply it to your life currently. And then, yeah, like it's a quote unquote change, but it's not like a complete 180 to what you were before.
That's not what I'm saying, though. that's not the point that I'm trying to make. What I'm just saying is, when you're in a different age group, then, like, think about it. Okay, we're in our late 20s now. We don't think the same and behave the same as we did when we were teenagers. When you're in your 30s, you're not going to behave and think the same way than you did when you were in your 20s. And I feel like when you're in your 30s, that is a perfect prime opportunity for you to assess what you want out of a relationship, whether you even want to be married or whether you want to stay single or whether you want to focus on your career. It could be the prime of your life for some people, or it could be a different stage. If you marry too early, quote unquote, then when you get into that next stage of your life and you realize that this is actually kind of holding me back, maybe I should have waited, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why this is just how I think about it. You should kind of wait till you're a little older, because you're both, and it's not just going to go for you, it's going to go for your partner too, where you're like, where she's going to go through changes too. She's not going to think the same way. And then on top of that, her biological clock is going to start ticking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she wants kids. She's going to, at 30, her body's going to react differently, saying, okay, now she wants to have a child now because she doesn't want to wait till she's too old. You got to wait these things out to see, to assess, look, this is the right time to do it. And I just think later on, but not too old, there's like a little window in between that starts at like 29, 30, 31, where you say, okay, maybe I think I want to do this now. I think I'm ready for this step. I done made the necessary changes in my life, got rid of all that old whole phase nonsense. And now I think I'm ready to take on the real thing. That's all I'm saying. Not that you got to completely change who you are. If you can, more power to you, because it's hard to do that. But like you said, gradually as you get older, and then once you reach that new phase, then you can start making that real honest conversation and having that real assessment. That's all.
All I'm going to say is speak for yourself, because I still rock this Dragon Ball since I was a teenager.
You can do that. Right? Listen,
I'm the same since I was a teenager. I don't care.
I had voices in my head.
Okay, but does teenage Jeremy...
Look, wrestling.
Okay, you can still have those interests and whatnot, but what I'm saying, does 30-year-old Jeremy think the same way as 18-year-old Jeremy?
Depends on what you're talking about.
In general, I'm talking about, like, and if we would take every facet of your personality, compare it to every facet of your personality when you were 18, 19. You're
I'm
not
talking
the
about
same
18, 19.
person
I
anymore.
was talking about 25.
Are you still, even then, are you still the
I
same
think
person?
so. Yeah, I think so. Because 25, I was working at Target.
You're not anymore though.
Well, not anymore, but I
And
was.
now you're trying to move on to bigger and better things, right?
Yeah, but I didn't change. I feel like I'm still the same.
Tay, help me, please.
I hear voices in my
Oh
He's
my
zoned out.
god.
All right, we can wrap this up because
Yeah.
we got to talk about
Yeah,
something that's coming up soon.
Oh yeah.
There's some good. There's some good.
You know what?
You want a fun fact about the NBA before we get to there? Since today was the trade deadline, you want to know something that happened?
What?
So the Lakers traded for a player called Malik Beasley. On the Lakers
Okay.
team, Scottie Pippen's son, Scottie Pippen Jr. plays for the Lakers. Malik Beasley dated Scottie Pippen Jr.'s mom.
So they went from one drama queen to another.
Jeremy's confused. Yeah. So
So you know who Scottie Pippen is, right?
yeah,
Jeremy?
Yes.
Michael Jordan's teammate. Scottie Pippen
Right.
and his wife got a divorce. Their son, Scottie Pippen Jr., is in the NBA. He plays for the Lakers. Malik Beasley is a current NBA player. He dated her name
Scottie
is
Pippen.
Larsa Pippen.
it's Laura Pippen. I think
Scottie Pippen
Laura?
Jr.'s
Oh, I thought it
mom
was
or
Larsa.
his
her name,
ex-wife.
yeah, his ex-wife's name is Laura Pippen. Malik Beasley dated Laura Pippen for about 6 months maybe, and now they're teammates. So it's funny.
That's weird.
But there's some good stuff. Their NFL awards are naming awards right now, so it's fun. You guys are going at it for a while. It was really funny.
It's healthy debate. You know what I mean?
I said
It's healthy debate.
it's hilarious to me.
This Sunday's the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
We got two black quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts and
Patrick
Patrick Mahomes.
This
Patty.
is the first time that happened, right?
See,
Yeah, which is, I won't say that it's odd because we now live in the age of the black quarterback.
Yeah.
Finally.
there are a lot more black quarterbacks. We're waiting for all those black coaches, but one step at a time.
Right.
Again, there.
But I think it's good for the culture. I think it's good for the game. I personally don't care who wins because screw the Eagles and the Chiefs are inconsequential to me. So
I was gonna say,
you know.
if you had to choose,
It sounds like you're more pulling for the Chiefs than the Eagles.
yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't like the Eagles
It's
more than
Yeah.
the Chiefs,
They're going.
But I don't care for either team really. But you know, the Eagles winning doesn't faze me, even though they're a division rival. But neither does the Chiefs winning. It doesn't faze me. You know what I'm saying?
but you gotta choose. That's the rules.
I have to choose.
Yes,
I have to.
you have to.
Who do you think's going to win?
Yes,
I think whatchamacallit is gonna win. Kansas City.
Okay.
I was gonna say, what do you mean? Whatchamacallit?
Like there's so many
I
whatchamacallits.
think the Chiefs are gonna win purely because they've been there, they've done that. I think Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. And I think the Eagles had a cakewalk. They haven't really been tested yet. So I think the Chiefs they're gonna win. It's gonna be a close game, but I think they're gonna win.
I personally don't care. So if I have to choose, fine, the Eagles, just to be different.
Wow, this motherfucker.
I don't watch sports. Like I don't know. I'm watching for the commercials. That's what I'm watching for.
You know, let me look at some quick Super Bowl Sunday facts.
Who's
especially
the
regarding
halftime show?
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Ah, all right, never mind.
Oh, let me ask y'all a question.
What's up?
Who do y'all think did the best halftime show of all time?
Of all time, I haven't seen all of them to know that.
No.
Okay, of the ones that you've seen, think
The
back
ones
as
that
far
I've
as you
seen,
can.
Yeah. My shit was really good, honestly.
that was
Last year, I believe it was like the whole West Coast. It was like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar.
Snoop,
Yes,
Eminem,
yes.
50.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a really good one.
That one was really
that
good
was
with
good.
Kendrick.
I thoroughly enjoyed the Bruno Mars one. That was a really good one.
Yes, that one was really good also. Absolutely.
I like the Weekend one.
Weekend one was another one I was thinking of.
That was what, a couple years ago in Tampa. Yes, that was
Yeah.
pretty good.
I guess firstly,
I mean, these are all recent. I don't know, like
I know
all the other ones.
I know everyone says historically everyone
It's
says,
probably Michael Jackson.
yeah, historically everyone
what
says
it is.
Michael Jackson. But since
Michael Jackson. You hear a lot of Prince. Beyonce's was really good. Both of them were really good.
yeah, Beyonce's was really good. Since we didn't say anything to the ladies, Beyonce's is a good one. I wasn't really a fan of Katy Perry one. It was really fun. It's entertaining to watch, I guess. That's all I felt about that. I guess my personal favorite one technically would be the Bruno Mars one with Beyonce because they both were there, so it was a really good one.
That was what, Super Bowl 48 with that was the one that was here, right?
I don't remember, dude. Not off the top of my head. Personally, I just don't remember. I just know that I remember that performance being really good.
You know which one I really did not like? Justin Timberlake one. Not the one where he pulled out Janet's titty.
Oh, I was gonna say no. That was
that one was like the most infamous one in history.
You know, fun fact: that Super Bowl moment is what led to the creation of YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, because the person, the group of people, I think it was like 3.
YouTube was already YouTube was a thing at the time already.
No, YouTube wasn't a thing.
No, I thought it was a thing, but it was was like people were just uploading like little vlogs and stuff. But like
video streaming was a thing, but there was no dedicated site for it. And the co-founders of YouTube were just like they saw the moment, but then they were just like, I want to see it. But obviously nobody's gonna play that on TV because of the nature of it.
FCC.
Yeah. So they were just like, let's create our own site to have these people upload these videos of stuff that happens that won't show up on TV.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's how YouTube was born.
Bam. Now I'm on it every day, every week. Watching
And we're on it right now.
And thus the rest is history.
Creating content.
I have a question though.
I have an answer. I hope it's the right question.
Who would you like to have a Super Bowl halftime show that you think would perform well? That hasn't had it yet, obviously.
I don't know. As a personal bias, I'm going this based off his performance when he did for the NBA All-Star Weekend. I think J. Cole's performance would be really good on the Super Bowl.
No, I see what you're saying, but the only reason why I say no is because his, like, when you look at the halftime performances, there's a lot of choreography and dancing and whatnot.
Chris Brown.
None of his songs have that type of vibe to it.
J. Cole's not like the dancing.
I was only thinking that because of his performance in the NBA All-Star, because that was actually a really great one.
I feel
it was good.
He would probably work, but they'd have to, like, it wouldn't be dancing. Like, they would have to choreograph, like,
they're doing a lot more stuff. Honestly, probably if we're going on dancing and stuff, I hate to say it, but it probably would have to be Chris Brown.
I
was thinking that. I was like, you know what?
I was gonna say, I have 2 choices.
Who?
You want to go Jay first, or?
No, I think he's still.
So I was thinking Chris Brown or Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I can see Jay-Z.
Yeah, I feel like Jay-Z has a good enough library catalog.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the word is. That he can also have a lot of special guests too. So
I just think he just have a lot more special guests.
Yeah,
like it would be Beyonce, Rihanna, and probably other people would always come out.
I would say Kanye, but maybe not.
I think
maybe a few years from now, if we all forget,
we won't.
I doubt it, but
we won't. No. Also, I think Jay-Z would be very good if it was in New York, like they did it in like
right.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Next one, that's at MetLife. Yes,
that's the only way I see it really working out. There are other good performances I can't really think of at the moment.
I was thinking either
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Drake or
Bad Bunny.
because he's Bad Bunny.
Yep.
Because he's been
Yeah.
skyrocketing now.
But,
Like
Bad
if it was
Bunny
a few
was a
years
nice
ago, I would have been like maybe later down the line. But literally, like he's everywhere.
Wow.
He won a freaking Grammy. He was nominated for album of the year,
He was.
not just like Latin album, just album.
He didn't win it. He didn't win it, but he was nominated.
He didn't win it, but he won a Grammy for
He always won.
Musica Urbana. But
He's always won a Grammy. Him winning a Grammy is nothing new to me.
Hell, his Yankee Stadium concert was fire. I heard.
Yeah.
Like I heard it was really good.
People loved it.
yeah,
People
There you
really
go.
had a good time at it. So yeah.
Because we all agree, Bad Bunny for
Isn't
Super Bowl
it?
next
Yeah.
year.
but it feels like the thing is like with the Super Bowl, I feel like they're kind of like.
Nah, Bad Bunny, it don't matter.
No, like obviously that would be a good show, but I feel like they're just kind of just picking people like at random.
Well, you know what's funny?
Like who can we get? Like Rihanna hasn't made a freaking album in like I don't even know, like
Years.
5 years,
Okay.
6 years.
Well, she did the Black Panther
No
song.
one song.
She's not gonna.
So she's
not
kind
gonna
of
do
hot
the
right now.
She's not gonna do the Black Panther song. Also,
She
And
might.
She might open with
also,
it. But
also, as another thing, people who perform at the Super Bowl, they don't get paid for that.
they don't. Oh nah.
Yeah, no. Well,
Uh-uh.
they
No, they don't.
Eh,
The artists who I've been
It's like
Respectful.
advertising, pretty much.
yeah,
Are you sure? I feel like they get something.
I'm sure they get something now because like that's been going on for so long. There's been a whole thing. There's been a whole.
That's disrespectful.
There was a time where like
Well, that's like it's also like winning an award. These artists don't get paid for winning awards. It's the honor that they go for, you know?
No, I think there's a cash reward for winning awards.
I think
Really?
it's a contract thing.
For winning Grammys,
It's a contract. I think.
it's definitely a negotiation tool.
Yeah.
You can definitely use that at the negotiation table. Like, yeah, I won album of the year.
Well,
You gotta pay me more.
but
But that's
the
when-
Super Bowl, you can also use that.
yeah. There's also like you can always have like athletes have clauses in their contract if they do certain stuff.
Right.
I think artists have the same thing based on their label. If they don't own the label, then it's like okay, because some artists own their own label, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. So maybe it's the label that gets paid.
Yeah, normally
Gets paid.
the label gets paid, and then the artist.
That
That is a
Yeah,
whole nother That's a whole nother.
Well, yeah, no, yeah.
I'm not gonna go into that rabbit hole tonight.
All right. Well, y'all got a what you call it for Grandma Gears?
No, but you'll never know who my Super Bowl pick is now.
I don't care.
Wow.
Who's your pick, Tay? Real quick.
No, I'm not saying it. All right, next. End the show.
No, I do have a grandma gears.
All right,
Okay, good.
do it.
So something that I've noticed a lot of people
Oh,
tend to do, maybe not like consciously,
what did Jay do?
they ask for favors with the intention of getting something in return. I don't like that. I do not like when people only do something for you if they want something in return. Like if you or rather they would purposely do something for you and then expect something in return even if you didn't ask for it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like there's this guy at work and sometimes it gets busy and I get swamped, but I usually I deal with it. I just handle it. If I run a little bit late, it's whatever. I usually get it done. But there's this guy at my job who will just, without asking, I don't ask him, just step in and start helping me. And I'm just like, okay, great, thanks. I didn't ask for your help, but okay. But then later on, they'll expect me to help them with something. And I'm just like, nah, I didn't ask you for help before. I don't need to help you. If you want my help, you ask me. Don't expect me to help you just because you helped me. That shit pisses me off because it's become a thing where a lot of people just don't want to help you unless they're gonna get something in return, and I feel like that's really shitty. Like, help me or So my philosophy is, if you ask for help, I'm gonna help you. I'm not gonna expect something in return. If you want to help me with something out later, that's on you. But I'm not gonna ask for it unless I need it. Obviously, it's not an expectation. And I feel like a lot of times people are going into helping people with the expectation that they're gonna get something in return. Oh, they owe me now. No, I don't owe you shit. If I ask you for help, it's because I need help. It's not because I want to owe you. if you do that, and I see that you do that, I ain't gonna ask you for help no more.
I'm do this shit on purpose.
So
Just like I'm of the type, like if I help you, you help me. It's whatever. Like, we got each other. Like, that's the relationship that I like to have, or like friendship that I like to have with people. It's like you help me, I help you. It's not like tit for tat. It's just whenever you need it, I got you. Whenever I need it, you got me. It's not like, oh, I did this, so you got to do that. Oh, I did this twice, so that means you got to do this twice. No, it's not like, it's not a currency. It's just we help each other out when we need it. That's it.
facts, B. Preach to the choir.
But
Well,
anyway,
we can
that's what
a
grinds
bow
my
on it.
gears. Don't be
Well,
like that.
Don't be like that at all.
Nah.
Tay, just real quick, remind the people where they can find us.
Nah.
Just look on the screen if you're on YouTube. Look in the description.
The links are in the description below.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Follow us on the Excuse Me Brother podcast YouTube channel. I don't know anymore. Fucking the the grandma kids killed me. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you want to email us, you can catch our email at excusemebrotherpodcast@gmail.com. Send us your comments and anything. One of us is gonna read it. Someone might respond. Probably Jay. Not gonna lie to you. If you follow us on Instagram, you can DM us. Follow us on Instagram at excuse_me_brother with the A, not the ER, because it's Black History Month. If you write any DMs, comments on any of our posts, I'm the one who responds to most of those, honestly. If I don't like it, I'm not going to respond. I will look at it so you know I saw it, though. I'm going to be petty.
Leave them on scene.
Absolutely. Petty. Follow us on TikTok. On TikTok at Excuse Me Brother with the ER, because Jeremy's racist. I keep telling y'all this. Don't hide it. I already know the truth.
I did it for branding purposes.
Did it for racist purposes. I know it. But thank you very much for listening. Oh my god. Are you ready?
And tell us how you feel about relationships and dating and whatnot. Tell us if you would date a single mother or single father. Tell us your views on marriage. Join the conversation with us, leave us comments, all that good stuff.
I hear voices in my head. They tell me they talk.
Are you going to start RKO people left and right,
Got your
brother?
rules in your religion.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.
All designed to keep you safe. What would